I'm not here to live for anybody else. I'm really not here, and neither are you, to acquiesce to what other people expect of me. That is not my obligation or my responsibility in this lifetime, and it isn't yours either. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Aaliyah, and I'm so grateful that you're here. I am back today with another energy reading, and this one is about our upcoming full moon in Sagittarius. So let's dive in and talk about what this full moon is bringing forward in our lives and how we can really work with this energy to find even more alignment, expansion, and freedom in your life. So this full moon is positioned in Sagittarius, and the energy of Sagittarius is that of the philosopher. Sagittarius is a student of life, very much interested in new perspectives, philosophies, exploring new ideas, and really broadening their perspective and horizons in life. The energy of Sagittarius is not concerned with what is known. Sagittarius doesn't like predictability. Sagittarius doesn't like to stick with the same routines over and over again. It really is about breaking yourself away from what is known and what is predictable in your life so that you can expand your worldview, expand your mind, expand your horizons into new frontiers of your life. Oftentimes, what keeps us stuck in the same predictable patterns, habits, lifestyle, career, routines, relationships is a fear of the unknown. And this full moon is really handing you the opportunity to break away from these patterns in your life, to break away from any of these fears that are keeping you playing small, or any of these fears that are creating a sense of resistance in your life that are holding you back from fully expanding and embodying your fullness, your greatness, your potential in life. This energy is a reminder that you don't have to stay in the familiar, in the boring, in the predictable because of fear. A practice that I really like to play with when I'm working with fears is to, first of all, bring awareness to what the fears are, right? We have to be aware of what subconscious programming, what fear-based programming is running the show and governing your actions, your beliefs, your decisions, your life. Once you have that sense of awareness of what your fears are, then ask yourself these two questions, and I think it's really powerful to journal on these. First, ask yourself, if I were to let these fears continue to control my life and overpower my life for the next 10 years, for the next 30 years, for the next 50 years, how is my life going to unfold? What is the outcome of my life going to be if I continue doing the same things and living the same way that I am currently living right now? Once you have that clarity of where this direction, where this path, the path of fear, where that's going to take you, then flip the script. Ask yourself, if I were to release this fear and really embody its opposite quality, whatever that might be for you, where is that going to lead my life in the next 10 years, 30 years, 50 years? So sometimes it becomes a little bit easier to release our fears when we can tangibly right in front of us see how it's actually not serving us. How if we continue down the same route, the same patterns, the same habits, it's really going to pull us further and further away from our true embodiment, from our full expansion and potential in life. So this is a practice that you can definitely play with during this full moon to help you really understand and release your fears a little bit deeper. Now, Sagittarius is ruled by the planet Jupiter. And Jupiter is all about expansion. It's about freedom. It's about possibility in life. And Jupiter is currently stationed in Aries, which is a fire sign. Aries energy is a very empowering energy, a very enthusiastic energy. Aries is the warrior of the zodiac. And so this placement, this synergy of Jupiter in Aries with the moon in Sagittarius, what that all really boils down to is this energy and this support of really expanding your life. It's like there's this driver, this energetic force that is really pushing and propelling you to expand and to broaden your perspectives and your life in the ways that are most resonant for you. It's really asking you and supporting you in pursuing the things in your life that make you feel expansive and free. With these placements, it's really powerful to ask yourself questions about freedom, about expansion. I mean, we're all sort of in this place right now, especially after the last 2 years of the pandemic, where we're coming more into our freedom, or perhaps a better way of putting it is really reevaluating what it means to be free. We're noticing, becoming more conscious and aware of the structures, the institutions, the people, governments that are creating a lack of freedom in our lives, that are creating more restriction and contraction in our lives. And we're seeing all around us how those things that are creating constriction are crumbling. They're falling down, they're falling apart. And this energy in the macro is also applied to the micro, to our individual lives. Ask yourself genuinely, maybe through journaling, do you feel free in your life? In what areas of your life do you feel constricted? In what areas of your life do you feel a lack of freedom? What's driving that lack of freedom in your life? Is it a mentality? Is it a belief? Is it a relationship? Is it a lifestyle or a habit or a pattern, an addiction? What is it that's creating this sense of restriction, this sense of contraction in your life? So to give you an example from my own life, a fear that has really restricted me and created a lot of constriction in my life over the years has been fear of judgment from others. And it's really been something that has occupied my mental space and has even limited me from showing up to my fullest capacity in a lot of different ways in life and business, because I've been so worried about what other people are going to think, particularly people in my immediate family or in my immediate friend group, people that don't really resonate or aren't really fully attuned to spirituality or the things that I talk about here. So it feels and felt very vulnerable to show up and share my full authentic self when I know that there are people in my life that are judging, who don't understand, who don't resonate with the things that I'm sharing and speaking of. And so it's really been this work for me to release that fear, to let that go, to recognize that I'm not here to live for anybody else. I'm really not here, and neither are you, to acquiesce to what other people expect of me. That is not my obligation or my responsibility in this lifetime, and it isn't yours either. So as I've been able to work through this fear and more as I show up, as I share, as I embody more of my authentic self, it's made it easier to release the fear. Sometimes I think we have an illusion that we need to release the fear before we can fully show up in our lives. And my experience has been completely the opposite. It is by showing up despite the fear, by pursuing the things that I want despite the fear, that I'm able to gain more confidence, that I'm able to find my tribe, that I'm able to find resonance with the people, with the situations, with the work that really aligns with me. And as the more and more that I show up and share my full authentic self and realize that there are so many people in the world that understand and resonate and can relate to the things that I talk about, the less the fear takes a hold on me. So sometimes we have this illusion that we need to fully be absolved from our fears or from the things that are holding us back, or that we need to have full clarity in our life before we can really go after the things that we want. And I am here to tell you that, at least in my experience and the experience that I see day to day with clients, is it's the complete opposite. You have to harness your bravery, your courage, your energy, your momentum to go for the things that you want. And through that action, you will slowly over time, or maybe quickly over time, dissolve those fears, those initial fears that were holding you back. Now, another element of this full moon that I'm really feeling into is an increased thirst for knowledge. Sagittarius is hungry for knowledge. Again, they are the philosopher of the zodiac. They are all about higher wisdom, higher power, higher perspectives, getting to understand and learn about different things that resonate with you. And we also are in Gemini season, and Gemini is also this very curious energy. Gemini wants to learn and grow and is open to all different types of information. And so there is really this quality, this heightened sense of thirst for knowledge at this time. And I would really encourage you that if there are specific topics or practices or anything, wisdom that you are really curious about, that you feel yourself drawn towards, this is a time to explore those things. You know, just the other day, I had signed up for 3 different courses in one day. I hadn't fully made the connection yet about the full moon in Sagittarius and Gemini season and this thirst for knowledge. But I found myself just so hungry to learn more about the things that I'm passionate about. I signed up for an astrology course, I signed up for a tarot course, and this similar type of energy might be apparent for you too. The areas in your life where you're feeling really pulled to learn more about, or you're feeling a deep desire for a deeper wisdom, these are areas in your life where you're going to experience more expansion. You're going to experience a broadening of perspectives as you learn more about these things, as you become a student of these things. So definitely don't shy away from whatever is piquing your curiosity at this time, because if you lean into it, that's probably the area in your life where you're going to experience more expansion and broadening. I would love to hear in the comments what resonated with you the most from this energy reading. What aspects of this reading do you really see showing up in your own life right now? I would love to hear that from you. Thank you so much for joining me in today's energy reading. I will see you all next week.